hello, friends. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. How are you? And as you Gary here, I hope you can hear me and all my tech is working. Welcome, welcome. If we haven't met yet, my name is Anna Sigari, and I'm just a basic girl with a little extra. And today I am super excited about this show because I have an amazing guest. But before I come and tell you all the wonderful things that this guest does, I want to welcome July. And if you have been joining the live stream for a while, you know that in this second season, I choose a topic for the month, and I am super excited about this month's topic, because it's something that I am starting to get really passionate about, and it's the live streaming and podcast content creation. So, I was thinking like, well, that doesn't have to do anything with ministry, but guess what? It does. It does, because this is a great way to love Jesus, obey Jesus, and tell everyone about him. So there is a couple of things that we can learn about how to use technology and social media and implement all this live streaming and podcasts to help our ministries, get out there. So I before I go all in, I wanted to just tell you a little bit about this. I love this part of the scripture that says, "For the Spirit of God gave us does not make us timid, but give us power, love, and self-discipline." 2 Timothy 1:7. So the confidence and the passion and the love and the self-discipline comes from God. But sometimes, if you're like me, I lose it. Like, where is my confidence? So our guest today is going to talk to us about that. Like, how do we get the confidence to go live, to make videos, to use our voice in the world of technology? So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce you to a confidence catalyst, a content creator, and expert on live streaming, my friend Dori Spencer. Yay! Dori, welcome.
Hello, Anna. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Hold on, I got something for you. Hold on. There we go. I got confetti.
Ooh, yay!
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for coming and joining us in the stream. And friends, if you're here, let us know where you're watching us from, and just jump into the conversation. Let us know in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, the same thing. So, Dori, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am a high school computer science teacher by day. So I teach all things geek. And it is my pleasure in having a front row seat to this wonderful generation that I teach, in addition to some of my own struggles from my past, which has really emboldened this passion in me for becoming a catalyst for confidence. So I spent a very large part of my life hiding who I was, hiding the fact that I was a geek, hiding the fact that I was imperfect. And as such, I really struggled.
Mm.
So I really think that all of those struggles that I had early in my life, all of the experiences that I have now with my kids really set me up for living out one of my destinies, which is focusing on inspiring confidence or installing confidence, if you will, in others. Um,
I love that.
Specifically, like with live streaming, my journey with live streaming, it begins at what I feel like now is the dawn of time. It was back in February of 2015 when I
Mm-hmm.
published my very first video. And that was
Wow.
actually not a live stream because Facebook, which is my main platform, did not have live streaming yet in February of 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I will tell you that there is hope if you are concerned about your confidence on camera. My first video was an absolute train wreck. It was absolutely everything that with practice you learn not to do anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, there was a starting point for me. And if you go back and ever watch that video, which I've never hidden it, I really should, but I haven't. You would see things like you would see that I had zero confidence. You would see how awkward I was. You could see that even though I wasn't even in the same room as anyone, I was so intimidated that I couldn't even make eye contact with the lens on the
Yeah.
camera of my phone, let alone like look in the eyes of another person.
Mm. Wow.
And then live streaming it started to hit. And everybody goes through these phases, these issues where they're worried about how many viewers they have, what's going to happen if um, people start commenting on my live stream, how am I going to manage staying on track and handling comments, and it can snowball if you don't
Right.
just take your step back and say, "Whoop, it's going to be okay. Take a deep breath." Because the
Mm.
good news is there's always light at the end of every tunnel.
Right. Yes.
So,
I mean, what a journey. And I think, I can relate a little bit on that, but even off camera, I was telling you how I feel confident because you're here. But if I'm by myself, I'm like, like I have to really be intentional, very, very prepared to come by myself on live streaming. And it's something that I'm struggling with. But I wanted to ask you, so how do you prepare yourself like to every time that you're no, because you're very consistent. That's something that I'm also gonna talk about or ask you about. But how do you prepare yourself mentally and emotionally to go live? Because sometimes, that's another struggle. I am like, oh man, I just had a moment with my husband and now I have to go live and smile. Like, so how do you handle those moments and how do you prepare yourself to go live?
well, it's so I'm going to answer that question from two standpoints. First, it's really, really important for me that I move around. And hey, Lala. And I need to get myself into a high energy state. That is something that my peeps expect from me. And honestly, there's a method to that madness where it says if you smile, it takes less muscles than to frown. So if something has you off, then doing something that puts you in that high energy, like that endorphin pumping state, that's why I do music as an intro to my things. I don the shades and I dance around and I look like a goofball at the beginning of my streams. Um, and so high energy, I think, is key to getting yourself in the frame of mind to be sharing yourself on camera. The other thing is that for my daily live streams, the content that I talk about there is very mentally focused. And so a lot of times I'm just sharing based on things that I've experienced in the last 24 hours or things that I've been dwelling on lately, or maybe it's something that I read about or saw on TV or was hearing a conversation with someone else. So because of the type of content that I put out daily, I think that sometimes I have to lean into my mental state, even if it's something that I'm struggling with for the day. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. And I mean, it is um it is a job. It is fun, and I love it. I stopped live streaming for I don't know, probably 6 months once that I started back like to a year ago, and with Lita. But there was a lot of pieces that were going on at home and with
Mhm,
family and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. And when I decided to come back, because this is something that I really like, I really enjoy it, I talked it out with my family, and to compromise and take this as also as responsibility, because it's fun, but it's also a commitment, right? So that's the other question, or thing that I would like to pick your brain about, because you do such a great job showing up every single morning. And the things that you talk about, like, yeah, I can totally see that. You talk about the things that happen to you, and somehow, like, I feel connected through your live streams in the mornings. And when it's a school time, you come on very early, and I watch you as I'm preparing lunches and my daughter is leaving for school, and I'm listening to you, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, like, you talk about things that are very you know, everyday things that we can connect
mhm.
with you, right? But where do you get that consistency of showing up every single day? Or like, do you feel responsible? Like, how do you do that?
So I do feel a part of that is I don't want to say necessarily a responsibility. I do want to say that I feel like I owe it
Mm,
to my audience to show up. I feel like I need to be accountable for showing up every day. And also for selfish reasons. I hate to say it, but it's true. Showing up for everyone every day also means that I'm showing up for myself. And it
mm,
helps stay on track and it helps me work through some of the things that are just a conundrum to me or things that are frustrating me or things that are making me sad and I really enjoy the fact that I have developed such a relationship with the people like you who hang with me every day that I do feel comfortable and confident enough in opening up about the things that I feel and the things that I think. And
mhm,
so it is a double-edged sword. I do feel like I owe it to people to show up, and so there's an
mhm,
accountability factor. And I also feel like I owe it to myself to show up because there is
mm.
also that cathartic aspect of it for me as well.
Yeah, and I think here comes the component. Some of my audience are um, ministry leaders, right? And
Mhm.
there is all the, even if you're in the faith or in the religious part of things, you hear that social media and using platforms, it's really not for church or things like that, right? But I think it's such a great way to communicate. And just like you do, like, you come on so natural and so authentic, that this is something that us, if we want to be the church outside the church, should be doing as well, right?
I agree with that 100%.
Yes. So Lala, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations, Dori, for the great YouTube channel with friends and your
Uh,
daily live streams. Daily musing on awesome and relatable topics. Yes, you're so sweet, Lala. She was with Marcus this afternoon. I'm like, Lala, how you should be sleeping now. But thank you for being
she never
here.
sleeps. She
I
never
know,
sleeps.
right? But she was talking about what is it? AMR, ASMRs?
ASMR. Yep.
Yeah, I can't even say that. And she gave a whole tutorial of everything, and I was like, "Wait, what?" So I learned a lot. So yeah, I don't know. She doesn't sleep. She's superwoman.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. But okay, so we talk about being confident, in the aspect of just showing up and using what you are, what you have to go out there and show up, right? Now, how do you feel about the tech part? Because that's also another thing that could be intimidating, or people that doesn't use this social media platforms to get out there might be intimidated, like, okay, there's too much going on. What I need, how to start, is it expensive? Like, what do you have to say about tech stuff?
Okay. Hold on to your hats because this giant tech geek is going to tell you that the technology is the least important piece. It is not, and it never will be more important than your message.
Hmm.
You
Mm,
absolutely have to share yourself and your superpowers with the world, regardless of the tech you are using. And I know this because some of my best and most impactful videos were done sitting in my parking spot at school in the morning with my phone propped
mm.
up on the dashboard of my car.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, that's where the daily morning live streams started. It
Really.
was not even inside the building at my desk. It
Mhm.
was in the car, prop the phone up on the dashboard, hit the live button,
Yeah.
and there it was.
I know, right?
So,
It's just like John Pullum says, just press that button.
yep.
Um, yeah, I think so too. But when we uh, by experience, when I started hanging out with the content creators and people that were doing live stream, they talking about this fancy cameras, and they're telling you like, oh, but you really want to get a good microphone and things like that. But at the time, I only had my phone and just my Logitech, which I still use. I have my fancy camera, and still I haven't spend the time to set it up. And I feel like this works just fine. And I'm just, why would I reinvent the wheel, right? But I think you're right. I mean, but if somebody would say, okay, well, I do have my phone, but if you were to say money is not an object, what are the three things that you feel like, okay, start with this, like, these are good things for you to start and invest for, to begin your journey as a podcaster or as a live streamer?
So this is gonna sound that was weird. I'm in my house alone and I just heard
Oh,
a loud noise.
we heard
Um,
it too. Okay.
I don't know what that was. Um, okay, three things. Okay, so first of
Good.
all, I think that audio is by and away the most important piece of any stream
Mm,
because even if you are sitting in your car with dim light, if your message is good and your audience can hear your message, they won't care that they're looking at shadows on a screen.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you're looking, okay, so step one, dial in your audio. Step two, get something that you will be able to uses a camera that when you're just starting, you can also see yourself on.
Mm,
Because
okay.
that's one of the tips that we're going to talk about in a couple minutes, as far as just some small things that you can do to help boost your
Mm-hmm.
confidence.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say use your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Even I mean, but I would invest in, like, if you have an older phone, get a newer phone that has higher quality camera
Mm-hmm.
um, lenses.
Yeah.
Um, and honestly, third, your audio first. A good visual for your audience is next. And if you needed a third thing, then what I would do is I would buy a little portable light that
Mm,
you can pop up to make
yeah.
sure that no matter where you decide to go live from, you've got something that is wireless, it's
Mm-hmm.
battery operated or rechargeable, that you can put there and get some light on your face so people can
Yes.
see you just as much as hear you, in
Yeah.
that order.
Hmm. Okay. So we got it, friends. Get yourself a good microphone, and it doesn't have to be expensive, right? Like a
No,
$1,000 or anything like that,
no,
but just a
nope.
good quality of those things. And as far as the lights, I played so much with lights when I started to, and the only problem that I had with the ring light, which I don't use and I don't like at all, it's the glare, like in the glasses that you could see, they can see my eyeballs. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna use that anymore. But it's play with the things that are out there, right? And finding what works for you.
Yeah,
Um,
one of the things we talked about Sunday night, was I just our Sunday night stream was on how to look good on camera. So that's specifically the visual aspect of it. And there's all sorts of small things that you can do with, if you have a dedicated space, you can for sure tweak things to avoid the glare. I
mhm.
wear glasses, it's part of my brand. I don't need them anymore. They're strictly just blue light. But if I look up, you can see my
Oh yeah.
my
Mhm.
lights,
Mhm.
but I have them placed so that they're not glaring in my eyes. Because, I'm going to just segue for a second into some of the reasons why people lack confidence and are afraid to go live. And I
Mhm.
think the visual aspect of it is really key for a lot of people. I
Mm.
think a lot of people don't want to push the button because they are very concerned about um, how they look, how the space looks that they're recording in, and so many other things. And all I can tell you is that no one cares about that as much as you do.
Mhm. Yes, that's
You
true.
know, and
That's true.
you are always going to be your biggest and loudest
Mhm.
critic. So if
That's
you
true.
keep that in mind and
Yeah.
just give yourself grace
Mhm.
to just do it, you
Yeah.
know? But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to start throwing
Yeah.
stuff out there if you're not ready for me to.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, let's keep going because the next thing I want to ask you, and I'm looking at my notes, the three tips or thoughts for someone that is just starting, like they're like, okay, I don't know anything about live streaming and or podcasting. What would be, based on your experience, what would you tell them?
So this is probably what I would say my biggest piece of advice is. People always ask me why I always appear so natural on camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise you, as I've already said, it's not always been like that. The secret sauce is practice, just like learning to crawl before you walk, walking before you run. You have to kind of suck at something to then be okay at it. And then you stay at okay for a really long time. And then you move to good. And then hopefully, we reach the penultimate and we become great at something that we're really, truly passionate about with a message that we want to share to the world. But to make that happen and to get that natural feeling to come across, you have to consider every video that you produce, every podcast that you produce, whether it's live or recorded, you are having a conversation with one person.
Hmm.
You are talking to one person. And this, Anna, is my theory about why you feel more comfortable when you have guests on,
Hmm.
because you have someone physically to talk to.
Yeah.
And so I always imagine that I'm sitting in Dunkin' and I'm at a table and I'm having a conversation. And
Hmm.
that doesn't happen overnight. That's why that practice piece comes in. And if it's something that you struggle with, here's another little nugget. Trying to make eye contact with an inanimate object like a camera lens
Hmm.
and pretending that it's a real person is a struggle for some people. And so when you get that idea in your head that you're having a conversation with one person across a table and you've practiced in a mirror so you can see what you look like, or you practice with your phone so that you can actually see yourself on your camera screen, right?
Hmm.
If you still struggle because you are in a room by yourself and you're not getting that actual feedback, even
Hmm.
just when you're saying, and you're shaking your head, that's a conversational method that gives me a positive piece of feedback. Put someone's picture that you trust
Wow, that is
right
so simple. Yeah.
above your camera
Yeah.
lens. Pick
Yeah.
someone that makes you feel at ease, that you feel comfortable with, that you have natural conversations with.
Yeah.
Put their photo right above your camera lens.
I mean, I just had this thought. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to put a picture of Jesus because I don't see Jesus and I talk to him all the time. So I'm gonna put a picture of him right there, right?
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
and the
that's a
thing
good
is, and
idea.
the thing is, Anna, if you're just getting started, or even if you've been in this for a really long time, and you just either you're not consistent, or you still feel like you're lacking that confidence that
Mhm.
you desperately want or need, you still have to make the videos even though they aren't perfect,
Yeah.
because every time you do, you're entering your training ground. And
Mm,
that's the only way that you're ever going to get better.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Here's the challenge. I'm gonna have to go live by myself and mess up a few times, right?
Do it for 5 days in a row after your
Ooh,
vacation.
yes. Okay. All right.
5 days in a row.
I feel the challenge, and it's so funny because I also feel like in my case, when somebody challenges me, I do it more than when I
Good?
write it down and I say I'm gonna do it. Oh yeah, well tomorrow. But now I feel like the compromise of like, oh yeah, well I'm on the spot now. So I appreciate for that. But, who says I can't remember if it was Marcus or Roy, tech troublemaker that they did that to me the other day, and he was like, "I just pushed you because you needed the push," and I'm like, "Oh, well, thank you." So yeah, I appreciate that and like the collaboration and all the wisdom that you're sharing with us. Anything else that you will want to share? With anybody that might be watching us or contemplating the idea.
I guess just a little motivational nudge, not a challenge, but a nudge. All those things that you worry about, how you look, how you sound, whether you have the perfect words, doesn't matter because you have a superpower and you need to share that superpower with the world. So don't let the tech, don't let the intimidation, don't let any of that get in your way. Because if you don't share your message, you are doing a disservice to the world.
Yeah, you're right. And that this reminds me because I think Lala was talking also about this morning. I've seen Lala all day today. Uh she was talking to Susan, and she was mentioning about when she started, she was so uncomfortable with her accent, 'cause she has an accent,
Mhm.
and I felt the same way, like, oh, I trip on my words. And it's, my family makes fun of me all the time because I mispronunciate words and things like that. But then I realized, well, wait a minute, English is not my first language, number one. Number two, they don't speak two languages. So that makes me more valuable.
That's right.
Right. So it's just like the shift of our thoughts and our minds to find that confidence. And yeah, like sometimes we need somebody so awesome to tell us that, well, remind us who we are, what are we gifted with, and how to do it. So I appreciate it so much. So many good tips that you have given us. And yeah, let's just press that button right there. And
Absolutely.
Cheryl, you're here. Thank you so much for being here,
Hey,
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
I've seen her twice today too. So anywho, now I have one of the links here for you, where can people find you and check out your live streaming and videos. But you go live every morning on your Facebook channel, right? And all of the links are on the show notes, friends, to
Mhm.
go and check out Dori. But you do, right?
I do, and it actually streams it multicasts out to my YouTube channel as well.
Oh, okay, awesome.
So, my Facebook handle is Dispense Dares. So that will take you right to my personal profile on Facebook if you want to follow me
Yes.
there. My YouTube channel is currently called Dispense Dish, although there might be a small rebranding coming in the very near future. Um,
Right.
a rebranding of the brand. Um, if any of that makes
Yeah,
any sense.
right, right,
Um,
right.
and then Sunday nights, I actually do a collaborative stream with two of my content creator friends. We are called Content Creators Connect, aka C3, and that is
Mhm.
Sunday nights. And our YouTube channel is Content Creators Connect.
Yes, and that's also again in the show notes. You can go grab those links from there, and it's so good, guys. Like I've been on their stream in the last couple, three or four, and I've learned so much. So you want to check it out on Sunday nights, and it's practicing, as you say, to get things going. And we have a little giveaway, right? So for our friends that are here live or in the replay, just let us know. We'll connect you with Dori. Dori, you have a 30-minute consultation, right, that you can give to our friends if they want a one-on-one on how to go live and any questions about live streaming tech, um, all of the things, how to
Happy to
handle
help.
teenagers too, right?
Um, well, that is a
You,
secret I have not unlocked yet,
Okay, I
but
need
I
to
am
bring you
desperately
back to talk
trying.
about that. Yes, I think you do. I'm phenomenal. Like if I had teachers like you, oh my gosh, I will be telling a different story about school. So I appreciate everything that you do for the younger generation because they need people like you,
Aw,
motivating
thank
them
you.
and taking care of them. So I I'm gonna bring you back so we can talk about that because that's another
Sure. I
very
love talking about my
big
kids.
topic. Oh my goodness, yes. Well, my daughter is 14 years old, and I've always been afraid of teenagers. So now that she brings her friends and stuff, I'm like, okay, they're not so scary anymore. So just to connecting with them, it's been a blessing, and I just love those kids too, and I want to learn how to connect more with them. So yeah, we have to do this again for sure. I want to thank you
Absolutely.
so much. 100%, Cheryl says, about being scared of the teenagers. I don't know. But yeah, we do need more teachers like her. Yeah, she cares and motivate her students, yes, and parents too, because when you tell your stories, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, yes, we need that. um, but for my guest, I have this fun thing, the fire rapid questions. Are you up for that? I don't know what kind of questions
Sure.
to get. So, we'll see. And let me. I told Dory that I was going to. You're gonna be my experiment of this overlays. So, friends, bear with me. Let's
Cool.
see. That's supposed to be the intro to the fire rapid questions. So, all right, here we go. Let's see. We're just gonna do 5 of this, okay? Let's see if you
All
understand
right.
5. And
I
friends
can't
in the
promise what
chat,
my responses are going to be.
friends, let us know your answers. Play with us. Let us know your answers in the comments. Let's see. Here comes the first one. Avatar or emojis?
Emojis.
I love emojis too. Yeah. I feel like I don't really look like my avatar.
I don't I mean, I like the idea of avatars, but I'm an emoji girl.
Yeah, me too. I say 1,000 words with emojis. That's me. All right. Soda or pop?
I don't call it pop, it's soda.
Right? Yeah, who does that? But I've heard of places that you're up there, right? Like New York? No.
Northeastern, yep,
Yeah, okay.
upstate New York.
Awesome. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I don't know, I wonder. Could I be both? I'm definitely a morning person.
Yeah, I think you are. I don't know how you have all that energy in the morning so early. Okay. Have you ever gotten a traffic ticket? Oh
Yes.
man.
Yes, I have.
Was it that time where you hit the deer?
No.
I remember
No.
that stream. That was fun, but not fun. I was like, "Wait, what?" Because
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
know, you know, this is just a little story right here because I remember that stream a lot from you because I was like, "No way. Like this is are really like how did that happen?" And I don't know if you ever watched the that TV show The Middle, and the girl is doing track, and she she comes to the finish line and she's all banged up, and she's like, what happened? Well, deer ran into me. And I just keep
yeah.
thinking that, and we have deer right here in our neighborhood, and I'm like always like, I don't want to be the, the one that gets hit by a deer.
I'm so paranoid. I am constantly, like, looking back and forth and everywhere now when I drive. But, yeah, you wanna talk about a random just jumps out and literally runs into the side of my car.
Oh
Um,
my goodness. Yeah, I don't
yeah,
I
yeah.
hear that those are dangerous. But Lala, you got a ticket. Oh my goodness.
No. I don't
Not
believe that,
Lala.
Lala. I don't believe
Oh,
that.
She said, I didn't know it was a transport lane in the Pacific Coast in California. They sent me the ticket, and it's like several times over the real toll fee. What?
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my goodness. That's, well, Cheryl said that's scary. I'm not sure if she's talking about the deer or the ticket, but both are.
I probably talking about the deer running into you, but
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do one more. You want to do one more?
all right, we'll do one more. Webcam, webcam, or
Or computer integrated.
webcam. I, I don't know. I guess I mean the computer integrated cameras now are a lot better than they used to be.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I don't know. I can't.
Marcus.
You
Oh,
fell
Marcus.
asleep.
Seriously? You missed all the fun. No, you still here in time. So, and thank you so much. But yeah, you came last to the game. Um,
It's okay.
Cheryl says, "Dear the scary."
The deer's
Yes.
scary. Yeah.
Saying hi to Marcus. Good morning, Marcus. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're tired because you had a good live streaming as well, and so it was raining earlier, and again, they my friends challenged me because they were talking about the AMRs, and uh I told them it was raining, and Marcus goes like, "Oh, we'll go out there and do a video." And I went
Well,
out
so
there.
people could listen to the rain.
Yes. So I
There
went
you
and
go.
did it, and that's why I was also telling you about I did not feel confident about my hair. So because I went out there and recorded the video when it was raining, my hair got all frizzy, and I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a hot day. That's it.
Doesn't matter. You showed up. That's
Yes.
all that matters. You
Yeah.
showed up.
And Cheryl's watering the garden and trying to type at the same time, multitasking. Well, thank you so much. Friends, you're here and it means the world to us. And thank you so much. If you know anyone that's starting or thinking about or just don't know where to begin, just contact Dori and go back and look at her videos and the show on Sunday. Again, tell us what is it? Connect content.
Content creators connect.
I remember it's three C's. That I love that logo. Um, check it out every Sunday. And Dory, you go live every morning on your Facebook and your YouTube channel. Those are going to be in the show notes. And here's one more time your YouTube channel. Any final thoughts?
Just do it. Just
Just
like Nike says, just do it.
yes. All right. And we have one last comment from Cheryl.
Aw.
The three C's. Yes, that's right. All right, friends. Well, thank you so much again. Thank you for being here. And next Thursday, I'm on vacation and I should be
Woohoo!
recording a video, but I might not have time. So we'll see you next time. And we have another amazing guest. She's going to be talking to us about podcasting. She specializes in podcasting. So I hope that you can join us again and just go out there and don't forget to love Jesus, obey Jesus, and tell everyone about him. Thank you so much, Dory, for being here again and doing this. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
Bye bye.